All right,
lack
go
of
for it.
faith is most disturbing. Oh, yes, we're live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It is the notorious, glorious V, the Gorilla Economist, with my main man, El Cuco, working the airwaves, making sure the broadcast is coming out crispy and clean. You know what I mean. Check us out, roguenews.com. Rogue News on every single podcasting app known to humanity. And check out our sponsors, mycbdedibles.com. Mycbdedibles.com. Whether you need a delicious doggy treat or you want to drink some CBD-infused coffee, you know where it's at. MyCBDEdibles.com makes it absolutely delicious and nutritious. Go there, check it out. They're running some specials this week. And also check out Patreon, where Senor Guerrilla himself is breaking down the geopolitical, geostrategic, geoeconomic. Go there and check it out. And also our main man, our guest, our main hermano of destruction is here himself, the preeminent, most prolific social commentator in all of the United States, the one and only, the last Spartan who is defending Western civilization, the one and only Gustavo. And you can check him out over at perpetualassets.com, perpetualassets.com, whether you are terrified that Pantifa is going to make your 401k turn into a 101k, you want to grab life and your investments by the balls, go ahead and contact perpetualassets.com. Let Gus Demas or his fine feathered friend Will Lear guide you in the pathway of self-sufficiency. With that being said, Gus, CJ, what's up, guys?
Happy Wednesday, dude. Good morning.
Happy Wednesday, man. Good morning to you. Everything's wonderful in the world. There's no coronaviruses. Lockdowns are ended. There's no rioting. Everybody's out in the street in solidarity singing Kumbaya. It's wonderful.
It's never. That's why I named my my avatar to the Banana Republic today. Everything's amazing.
Everything's so good.
Everything's incredible. The only upside is I've started to leverage the zombie apocalypse with prostitutes to not even wear a condom. I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, we're all gonna die anyway. What the fuck's the difference at this point? What the fuck does any of it fucking matter? Seriously, the last 2 days, the stories that are probably the biggest news, and we could kind of touch on both of them. First, the St. Louis couple is beyond just it's what we've been talking about for the last 5 weeks. That you have to know the laws, you have to record everything, and you have to have a lawyer. Now that couple only made one mistake.
They didn't record everything.
Correct. The recording was one-sided.
Powered rifle and wielding a pistol.
So no worries. So their only error. They're lawyers already, so they know their shit. They know the laws. They're armed, etc. The only issue the only mistake they made is the record. See, so it's the rioters and looters recording them.
Yeah, exactly correct.
One of them should have had a camera phone out the whole time because right now the optics.
There it is. They're breaking the gate.
Oh, of course, the look at the after effect. Of course, it's private property, dude. Now.
I love the way he holds his gun like Rambo.
Oh, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They have no idea. The lady's like, look at the way she's holding her pistol, her little 380. Yeah. The guy's holding his AR.
I'd be
like off a poster from Red Scorpion.
I'd be out there with a wife beater and a fucking Michigan visor backwards and a bottle of Jack Daniels with 4 guns recording them. So I would have handled it a little bit differently. But the point is, if you're not recording, they control the optics. So the only thing, and we'll get into the prosecutor, which we also the George Soros funded St. Louis prosecutor is saying, oh, she might charge them for her. Like it's such. Dude, we live in a banana republic. Like we're in the Civil War has already started. It started 5 weeks ago. This is fourth generational warfare. These people are fucking terrorists.
Look at this.
Yeah, dude. She's an SJW. She's a Soros.
Oh my God. She's definitely a carpet muncher. You could tell.
Yeah, she's evil as fuck, like the rest of them. She's an evil.
There's no soul. There's no soul in that woman's eyes.
Dude, they're on their lawn. A mob of communists are on their lawn, and she's saying that the communists are the victims. That's why it's impaired. Fuck the prosecutors.
They
at this
break
point.
the gate. These people, what I read, man, these people were having dinner. They heard a commotion. They come out. They see their gate being broken down. Like literally, they were breaking the gate down, where it says clearly no trespassing. Private. Look at that.
Yeah,
That takes force.
It's a mob of 50 people on your fucking lawn, and they were screaming shit at them for half an hour, whatever. So that's why it's important. Fuck the prosecutors and fuck the media. You have to record everything in case you get we're no longer in objective law. The law is no longer blind. This is the communist prosecutors are coming after people who defend themselves. That's what you need to know. So fuck the prosecutor. The prosecutors are almost irrelevant at this point. Yeah. Your concern should be the jury. Honestly, if you're going to defend yourself, what are 12 citizens going to say when they see all the evidence? And if it's a mob of 50 communists' word versus your word, you want to have the video there so the jury can see exactly. The prosecutors are a waste, dude. They're literally commie activists at this point. Like they're protecting their foot soldiers and prosecuting citizens who defend themselves. We're in banana republic territory. Like that's why these are kangaroo courts. Like it's your only saving grace left is the jury trial. That's the only saving grace you have left, and that might not exist in a year. Who the fuck knows? At this rate, who the fuck knows? And God forbid you pull an activist judge too. Jesus fucking Christ. So that is a terrifying thing but dude, we've been talking about it on the show for 5 weeks. We knew this was the play. The media and the liberals, the prosecutor, are treating the homeowners like they're Nazis. That's the level of scam we've reached. The scam is so deep. Dude, and we joked about it 5 weeks ago. It's like, let us kill you or you're Hitler, let us kill you or you're like, the logic has now become they must be able to literally terrorize you and your family and kill you, rob you, burn you, and you can't fight back. Like that's where this country is now. And that's why I'm telling you, having a gun is not enough. Knowing the law is not enough. You want to record everything. I recently bought a dash cam for my car too, which we could transition into the Utah story. But I got a dash cam for the car, the house, blah, blah, blah. You have to.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. The Utah story. Like what in God's name, man?
That is the St. Louis story made bigger news, but the Utah story to me
is the bigger one.
It's more terrifying. It's more terrifying because they didn't even give the car. So for those of you who don't know, car comes through a rioting, looting communist in Provo, Utah, and the car's like trying to turn off, get out of the way. They surround the car. One of the guys pulls out a gun, fires at the car. Didn't even do anything wrong. It's slow. Imagine driving into this fucking communist crowd, and a commie pulls out a gun and shoots. Like, dude, these people are fucking terrorists. Like they're commie terrorists. So why it's terrifying for me is, all right, so I drive up to a mob. How do I approach tactically? How do I approach a mob now? If I'm going to the gym later today and I drive up to a mob, am I supposed to assume that one of them is going to have a gun pointed at me as I'm trying to get through? Like we're in a really bad place. Really bad, only because you, as someone who's trying to follow the law.
Like what are they doing? Like, let the car through. Why are you?
There are shots being fired the whole time, and now another guy.
Hey, look, another guy tried to take a shot. You saw
him?
Yeah,
he does. He does. So I think there were a total of 3 or 4 shots shot at the car. If you one of the clips, you could see the guy slowing down. Like in that clip, I think right there.
Look, 1 in 6. 1 in 6.
No. There's a terrifying one of those guys right there at the front.
Yeah, If they zoom in, you can see him fire the shot.
Yep.
Directly. There he is. CJ, can you zoom in on that screen? Right there. He's holding the gun right there. Right there. He's holding it right there. There we go. There it is. And put your mouse over where that guy's at. There it is. Bang. There it is.
So
He's holding that.
imagine driving through this mob, and as you're driving through, someone is literally standing at your windshield pointing a fucking hot pistol at you. So that is, dude, we're dealing with fourth generational war. It's already started, dude.
It's hybrid.
When they write
it's full on Bolshevik at this point.
Yeah, when they write books about this in 50 years, they'll say the Minnesota riots triggered the Civil War, revolution, fourth generation war. These people are like Taliban terrorists, communist mercenaries.
These are Black Lives Matter supporters. How come they're all white?
Dude,
they're all a bunch of pasty basement dwelling white kids.
Black Lives Matter is a great slogan.
It is.
It's basically like a serial killer naming himself Santa Claus.
Yeah.
It's a total scam.
It's
a scam. It's like, do you support Black Lives Matter? It's like Black Lives Matter is a communist terrorist organization trying to overthrow the government.
Did you hear the Lord Jamar, the guy? He's a rapper. He used to roll with Eminem back in the day. He was on Twitter, and one of the reporters was asking him, "Do you support Black Lives Matter?" He's like, "Hell no, I don't support Black Lives Matter." And the reporter was taken back. He's like, well, "Why not?" He's like, "Black Lives Matter was created by 3 lesbians. We don't support that. The LGBT and all that other alphabet bullshit. We don't support that. That ain't about us." I want, and he's like, think about it. When back in the 50s and 60s, we had businesses and enterprises, we had families, we had, per capita, we're doing phenomenal. And then all of a sudden, they introduced us. He actually said, I believe he said, the white liberal introduced us to welfare and the welfare state, and now they give us a movement so they can control us. Nah, I ain't down with that. There's some starting to get it, and dude, look at the Black Lives Matter. It's like 1 out of 6 is only black. Everybody else is a bunch of pasty white kids. It's suburban middle class white kids.
Black Lives Matter is just a slogan. It's what liberals do best. They come up with really linguistically catchy.
It's a rallying point. That's all it is.
Well,
it's like axiomatic rallying point.
It's like the way they use the word progressive. We're progressive. What does progressive mean? Well, it means there are 187 genders now. Is that progressive, or is that just mentally ill? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So Black Lives Matter is the same way. It's like, oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. What is Black Lives Matter? Oh, it's when the devil's in the details. It's just a simple, catchy slogan that, just like a serial killer. If John Wayne Gacy named himself Jesus Christ, he's still John Wayne Gacy. Like it doesn't. It's all bullshit. It's a sales pitch, like everything else liberals do.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, again, I can't imagine the average person is sitting around. Well, dude, I've often heard the last year, oh, humanity is going to be enlightened. Humanity is going to be enlightened. I don't think they're gonna, dude. I think especially the younger ones who live on.
I think there's a rift.
I think it's an empire. I think this is an empirical collapse. The empire is falling, and they're trying to steer the way it falls into a totalitarian regime. And they're using their commie, useful idiots, foot soldiers to seize control before the election. And they'll eventually, dude, you'll never hear, if Biden wins on November 4th, November 5th comes around, if Biden wins, you'll never hear about coronavirus again. You'll never see protests, rioting, and looting again. It will all vanish overnight. It will all vanish overnight. This is straight up fucking terrorism, commie revolution before the election to make us terrified, drive us insane, try to dude, and I've heard it brought up us. Do you ever notice, like, all these areas they go after, all these, it doesn't matter if it's the governors and mayors shutting down churches and small businesses, or all these fucking commies looting, rioting, killing. It's always like Republican leaning people. It's small business owners. It's it's Christians. It's police officers. This is a Bolshevik army trying to punish, instill fear, and terrorize people who they think are most likely Republican based on their demographic. So, like I said, man, I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Fuck's sake, record everything. And another quote that came out, not to go back and forth between St. Louis and Utah, but a quote came out of St. Louis, one of the fucking commies. It was probably wasn't even a Freudian slip. What he said during it all, they're in his lawn, this guy comes out with an AR, and one of the commies said, and it was caught on mic, he said, "We got what we came for. We got the pit," meaning his whole they're huge on optics. They get the optic.
They're masters of it.
They came there, terrorized these people, threatened them, their family, their property, all of it. They got a pic of them in ARs, blah blah blah. And after they're like, "What should we do? What should we do?" We got what we came for. What they came for was the pic of two fucking white people on their lawn with guns
in their mansion.
Yeah, in their mansion,
and showing the contrast. Oh, look at these poor, urban dwellers, and the lower class, black and white. They're all together. We're all trying to fight injustice. Look at these uppity, rich, wealthy white people in their gated communities, in their mansions and whatnot. And look at that.
And if
it's the optics. The optics look terrible because these people did call the cops. Nobody showed up, man.
No, dude. No one's shown up. No one's shown up anywhere in the country for 5 weeks. There was a 911 call released where the mob was attacking a woman and her baby in the car. And
she started to go to city council.
She
make her complaints valid to city council.
The 911 operator's like, yeah, what do you want me to do? And they're like, you're fucking 911. Like, we're terrible. Me and my baby, we're screaming. They're on our car. They're on our car. It's like, you should tell city council about that. Like, while this thing's in progress, this poor fucking woman and her child, the commies are fucking on the hood of her car. Who knows what the fuck's going on? But the 911 operators like call a social worker. What the fuck's going on here? Dude, it's fucking bad. This is real bad. And thank God gun sales are up. Thank God some people are starting to snap up. You still can't find 12 gauge buck anywhere in the country. It's incredible.
I can find 12-ounce water canisters for super soakers. They're in plentiful supply in New York.
Dude. I try to keep tabs on ammo as much as I keep tabs on crypto and gold. And the ammo it's something to watch right now. It's fucking incredible. Especially, I thought 9mm or AR would go first, but it turns out 12 gauge went first. Shotguns went first, which makes sense. It's total home defense. But dude, it's like I said, it's vital, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember anything, pull out your get cameras everywhere. Or remember, if you're walking up to a mob or the mob is approaching your property or your car, you almost want to grab the phone and hit record before you grab the firearm, because the
video, the rat camera is more important.
They only want to show. They want that optic on social media and on CNN and in front of a jury. They want the optic of, we were peacefully protesting and this Nazi maniac pulled out a gun. That's the optic they're going to try to sell,
because they know that the weaponized media, who should all be corralled and shot in the back of the head. Weaponized media is already trying to put the narrative out that these people are peaceful.
The optic we want to display, not only to the jury but to anywhere we can get that optic out, is there's there's 30 people with hoodies, baseball bats, skateboards, hitting my windshield, about to kill me, and I'm defending myself. That's the optic. So they would push out the optic of, oh, look at this cracker, crazy Nazi, white supremacist, whatever fucking bullshit they sell, trying to kill these peaceful protesters. Where you would retort or rebut would be, here's an optic. By the way, dude, how convenient is the face mask thing for them, by the way? Like,
isn't it perfect?
It's almost like it's intentionally orchestrated. Yeah. Here are 20 masked lunatic communists literally trying to kill me and my family. So you want that photo, you want that video to not only put on CNN, so you get on fucking you get on Cuomo and you're like, oh, what would you do right here? They pulled out a knife and came after my throat. What would you do here? Would you light a candle to Antifa? You fucking commie piece of shit. Yeah. It's bad, dude. This is the kind of shit you read about in the third world. Like, this is what I would expect. Like, dude, they're acting like we're approaching like narco Mexico territory, like where it's like open season in the streets. And the difference is, the prosecutors and mayors, and we could talk about Seattle in a second too. That's a great story. They're protecting them, and they're coming after us for defending ourselves. Think about that. You're minding your own fucking business, going to get a cup of coffee, and they attack you, and you have to worry about a jury trial for self-defense. Like, that's fucking mad. That's not a place you want to really live. Like, the fact that constantly you have to think about that is fucking terrifying, dude. It's not the country you want to be in. Like, it's terrifying. It's evil. They are evil motherfuckers. And make no mistake about it, you cannot negotiate with these people. You cannot argue logic and reason with them. They want to burn it all down. They want a communist revolution. They want us fucking dead, if I'm being honest. Like, business owner, libertarian, conservative, yeah, you're not gonna fit. You're not gonna fit in this thing. So they are beyond reasoning. That all they know, and I don't know how much more documentation is required. All they know is force, dude. All they know is force, intimidation, terrorist techniques. It's madness. The Seattle thing is fucking epic because they showed up at the mayor's house now, and then immediately the next day she shut it down. So,
that was great.
Dude, it just happened yesterday. Yeah, it just happened. Yep.
So now I saw this morning the construction crews are out there removing barriers at Chaz or Chop or whatever they want to call themselves.
Yeah. So you're aware of the rules. These liberal mayors, the commie mayors, when the Bolsheviks, when Black Lives Matter and Antifa is terrorizing you or your business, it's the summer of love. It's peaceful protesting. The minute those commies turn their attention to the liberal politician, then it's game. The liberal politician. Think about the evil in that bitch's mind. Like, think about what an evil cunt she has to be to watch her city fucking dissolve into commie chaos for a month. And then the day they turned it on her, like, hey, we're going to go over to the mayor's house. The day they turn it on her, she shuts it all down. Like, you evil cunt. Mm-hmm. You let the fucking people, you exposed the citizens to that, and you get
shows up to your front door.
You get one night. Yeah, you personally get one night of inconvenience, and then you squash them like a bug. You fucking cunt. You evil hypocrite cunt. Like, what a fucking sociopath. To only. And three of the Minnesota city council people are doing the same thing. Fucking commie. The city council people in Minnesota, 3 of them, they got private security for themselves. This is why they're in the process of vanishing police for citizens. So they want to eliminate all protection for the citizens, but they got private. Oh, by the way, private security that taxpayers are paying for. So the politicians,
$4,500 a day, dude.
It's so
$4,500. The same ones that are out there, the same 3 that are out there, are preaching about, yes, we need to defund the police, and it's going to be up to our communities to come up with the solutions. And then all of a sudden, he gets some threats, and it's $4,500 a day private security for this asshole.
They are right now. We are at the point where it's a full-scale 4th generational war. The only thing left I could think of is between now and election, a hard push to also disarm us. That would be the nail in the coffin. So when you're going down the list, like, oh, they're letting people burn, kill, loot, and riot, and they're trying to these liberal commie prosecutors are prosecuting people engaging in self-defense. The only thing left is disarming us altogether. or to some extent. Like, so I would, if I had to bet on it, I would say they're going to take the next situation that they see. So the next thing that they publicize big time in self-defense, you'll see the liberals, both in media and politicians, you'll see them run with that to try to say, why do we need ARs again? They'll hit the AR conversation again really soon, especially because they see the gun sales. They don't want you protected against the mob. I would expect some fucking gun control shit coming down the pipe soon too, because that's the last thing. That's the last domino to drop. It's like, oh goddamn, these evil libertarian and conservatives could still protect themselves. Sort of, we got to disarm them. You take away our right to defend ourselves. It's truly game over. Like it's not good, man. None of this is fucking good. What is this? A peaceful lesbian rally or something?
No, this was the Seattle police finally, after the emergency order, going in and clearing out the chat. What's the name of that area again in Seattle?
Chop.
Yeah, they went and cleared it all out.
Clitoris, cries when they fucks, whatever fucking bullshit acronym or abbreviation you want to give it. I'm just gonna call them faggots. Like I'm not letting them dictate fucking what it's called. They're trying to change the name. It's like, dude, go fuck yourself. Think about that. The minute the mayor personally feels threatened, that she shuts it. Like, fucking sociopath, man. Sociopath. The fucking poor business owners in there, the residents in there, like, you let them go through this for a month, and the day these motherfuckers show up to your lawn, you fucking cunt. You evil cunt. It's so disgusting, dude. It is so disgusting. I don't know. Gentlemen, bottom line is, man, we're in a bad fucking place.
We really are, bro.
Yeah, we're in a bad fucking place. These people aren't stopping. They aren't stopping. And did the Utah story even make national news anywhere outside of Fox, maybe?
No. Yeah, outside of that, there's only been outside of Fox, there's only been a smattering on smaller news outlets, around the country. That's about it.
That is what's most terrifying, is that they control so much of the media. You can't even, so the middle America, or the independent voter or whatever, the media and IT together, working together, obviously, they do such a wonderful job of controlling narrative by deciding what and what not to report on, basically defining reality. It's something like it's going to take something like the Utah story going viral to really, some people got to snap out of it, man. This is not, I've heard a couple of people say it well, like, middle America, the middle class is still just sitting there with their fingers crossed, hoping that this goes back to normal. Like, oh, I want to go back to the golf course.
No.
Oh, I want to.
It's a line in the sand, man.
Oh,
it really is.
Molyneux. There's another head. The mob. Yeah, the mob.
600,000, 700,000, 800,000 subscribers.
15 years of my life. Thousands of videos, billions of comments, hundreds of millions of views, and nearly 1 million subscribers has been destroyed, has been erased from YouTube. The accusation is the usual one that I'm fomenting violence and hatred and so on, which is not true at all. I have consistently promulgated the non-aggression principle and called for reasoning evidence as the methodology by which we can resolve social disputes and differences. Doesn't seem to have mattered, of course. The reality is that the book burning is underway. Myself and many other dissidents and anti-communist intellectuals and speakers have also had channels destroyed across a wide variety of platforms within the span of only 1 hour, in what I assume is a highly coordinated effort to silence us. And it is a blow. Don't get me wrong. It is a huge blow. It is a huge challenge. And the goal, of course, is to remove the middle, to remove those of us who are looking for peaceful solutions, rational solutions, philosophical solutions to social differences, to take us out so that there is no center to society and everyone can gravitate to the extremes wherein the tinderbox of violence can be lit in a revolutionary conflagration of brutality. And I'm going to strongly urge you, my friends, to resist that temptation. Resist that temptation to go to the extremes, to go to hostility, to go to rage, to go to violence. It is not too late. There is still incredible technology that we can use to further the rational and philosophical discussion of issues within society. And I'm begging you, please.
I don't think we can rationalize with these idiots.
No, there's no rationalizing. You know, there's a quote from Ayn Rand. There's a quote from Ayn Rand that I'll read real quick, and it just hits right at home. She says, "Observe the nature of today's alleged peace movements. Professing love and concern for the survival of mankind, they keep screaming that nuclear weapons race should be stopped, that armed force should be abolished as a means of settling disputes among nations, and that war should be outlawed in the name of humanity. Yet these same peace movements do not oppose dictatorships. The political views of their members range through all the shades of the statist spectrum, from welfare statism to socialism to fascism to communism. This means they are opposed to the use of coercion by one nation against another, not by the government of a nation against its own citizens. It means that they are opposed to the use of force against armed adversaries, but not against the disarmed. Consider the plunder, the destruction, the starvation, the brutality, the slave labor camps, the torture chambers, the wholesale slaughter perpetrated by dictators. Yet this is what today's alleged peace lovers are willing to advocate or tolerate in the name of love for humanity." It hits right at home.
Yeah, they love peace so much they want to kill 100 million of us to bring in their utopia. This is all a fairy tale. Okay, the communist thing's a fairy tale. It's a scam, and they brainwash a portion of the population to their fucking cult, and the portion they can't fucking brainwash, they have to kill or put in a fucking labor camp. Do you understand? Like, they're peaceful. They're for the Green New Deal. They're for lesbians. They're for blacks. They're for the. It's all bullshit. They're not for anything. The only thing they're for is power and money. They want total power. They want complete control. You either join them or fucking die. That's this. Everything else is just smoke and mirror. Dude, again, the fact that most people can't. And listen, I've been following Molyneux for fucking 10 years. Big fan of a lot of these guys. Big fan of Shapiro, right? Yep. What these guys don't understand is they want to logic and reason and negotiate and spread the word. You don't and we've been civil with these people since day one. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're shooting at us at fucking red lights. Like, I don't know
Gus, remember what I told you when this whole thing popped off? The difference between us and them? They understand the use of violence. We don't. Yeah.
Well, they understand it, and they're getting away with it. Let me say something as aggressive, and this is because this is a hand of God, the truth of the matter. The system, and this is what makes me laugh all the time. It makes me chuckle. The system that they're trying to tear down, the system that the patriarchy, evil white country, blah, all this bullshit. The evil patriarchy, men or straight men or Christian. The system that they hate and talk shit about, it's not protecting me from them. It protects them from me.
Bingo.
And that's what they don't understand.
Right.
I sit fucking 10 Antifa members down. I take a bunch of SJWs, a couple of purple-haired feminists. I sit them down, and I'm like, listen, it's important you understand. If this evil patriarchy, this thing you're trying to tear down, if it didn't exist and we were wild, wild west and there was no laws and no government, I would chop your fucking heads off right now, this second. Like, I would exterminate all of you. Like, this is not benefit. This system doesn't benefit me. Do you understand? It benefits you fucking nerds. Like, it's protecting you from savages. Like, we play by the rules because we have something to lose. There is still rule of law. We have businesses, we have assets, we have property. And who wants to spend $250,000 on fucking lawyers defending themselves, right? Like, it's a fucking waste of time, a waste of money. You don't want to break the law, following all these jurisdictions. These fucking parasites, these commies that have nothing to lose, before 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they would be prosecuted under the law. And what makes me laugh every time and chuckle is that they don't understand this. If the system collapses, if it all comes down, if the municipalities comes down, if the state comes down, it's open season on you motherfuckers. Like, it's open fucking season. Like, this system that you hate so much protects you. Trust me, it protects you. Because you'd see motherfuckers, trained motherfuckers, 10 times more fucking vicious than me, who actually, like, ex-fucking special forces guys who've come back from combat. You'd see those motherfuckers be like Rambo in the fucking streets. Like, you don't want this end game. You don't want it. There's no way this turns out well, especially for the useful. And that's, I appreciate, like, Stefan and Shapiro and all those guys trying to, like, talk these people off a ledge. But why it's failing is it because it goes in one ear, out the other, and they think they could do all this shit without ramifications. People fighting back, number one. Number two is they appear to be immune to the law. They can do whatever they want and get away with it. Like, so all these things together make these people, it makes it impossible to negotiate with them or talk logic and reason to them. They're like, we're going to tear it down and there's nothing you can do about it. The minute it gets torn down, or at some point, like I said, they're not going to like what the other side looks like. They're just not, because you've seen these people. Dude, these people are soy boy, hipster, like, give me a fucking break. And even the militants, like it's pathetic, dude. It's pathetic. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that we still have to play by the rules, and I have to worry about having lawyers on retainer and filming everything to cover my ass legally and making sure it's all in self-defense. I have to do all these things. Why? Because the commies have infiltrated our government too, our prosecutors' offices, our sheriff's offices.
Look at Minneapolis. Look at Minnesota. Keith Ellison, a Muslim sympathizing commie.
Yeah,
when I say Muslim, I'm talking about like jihadi, Muslim Brotherhood.
Bro, I think step one for us, for all of us people, is I think we have to get organized too, where we're all trying to live our lives, and we all have jobs. Some of us have wives, children, family, whatever. We have other shit we're doing 10 hours a day, where all these people do from morning and night, other than probably fucking meth, is organize these fucking, this rioting and looting. So, like, that is their job. Right. So I wake up, I make a bunch of phone calls, return emails, blah, blah, blah. I try to, pay attention to this shit a couple hours a day. These people, for 12 hours a day, all they're doing is, let's meet here. Let's tear down this statue. Let's terrorize this intersection. This is their full-time job.
They're getting paid $200 a day, bro.
Well, for them.
If you're a bum, basement dwelling, pasty, white bum,
they're getting paid $200 a day. And for men, I'll tell you what's important for men, all men, even soy boys and hipsters, is status as it pertains to the opposite sex. So, and why do I bring that up? They're such failures in life, business-wise. They're total failures. Like, all these Antifa, BML people, like, dude, why aren't you, like, they're not running hedge funds. Guess what? Like, they're fucking losers, right? So they're such failures in life that to attract, it's almost like a mating strategy to let the purple-haired feminists grab a tit. Like, I'll tell you what, if you go burn down that intersection, I'll let you fucking finger me or something. Like, they're
you grab my fat boobs.
Yeah, it's fake status.
That's
it's
hanging
like,
over my belly.
I'm a communist revolutionary. Let me finger you. Like, it's all these soy boys trying to appease the feminists. It's so, because if they were successful and smart on their own, they wouldn't have to kiss anyone's ass. But what happens is not only do they believe this, they're in the cult, but they think the cult gives them status. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm a lieutenant in the Antifa Communist Revolutionary Guard. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And a lot of it's just for getting pussy, I think. I truly believe there's a biological argument to be made to it, where a lot of what men do, Aristotle Onassis had a great quote once. He said, if women didn't exist, all the money in the world would have no meaning. Meaning, a lot of men.
Amen to that, bro. Especially when you got a good one. It's
a lot of men just chase resources for purposes of either their significant other or attracting new pussy or whatever. So yeah, I think a lot of the soy boys, the hipsters, a lot of what they do is for a fake respect, a fake status there, because they failed at everything else, so they've diverted to this fucking thing. Right. But man, like I said, these are dark times, and I think we need to get organized. Like the church thing made me lose my shit a couple of weeks ago. I really want to. If they start burning churches, I'm going to start calling local churches and volunteer. Like, do you need anyone to stand guard? Can I help? Like, it's time to start finding. And mind you, when I say find like-minded people, realize also there's going to be a lot of government agents in those groups too. So we got Freedom Fest in a couple of weeks, for example. I would expect a lot of government it'll be a lot of SJ. Don't forget, the FBI and all these government agencies they have SJWs in them too. Like, not only have to worry about the deep state, but you have to worry about cult members in these agencies, right? So I'll never forget the photograph of FBI agents taking a knee with Black Lives Matter, and the FBI agents, a couple of them had like pink shoes. It's clearly like feminists with like pink shoes on, and like it's fucking disgusting. And you should know there's government agencies within a lot of these groups. That being said, yes, I do think it's time to really find like-minded people in your communities, locally, nationally. We have to organize. If these people have one advantage, they are organized. And you're a lot, I think you're in a lot better shape if you're in a group of 20, 30 conservatives than if you're just, a lone wolf by yourself out there trying to, with a mob attacking you. So fuck, man, I don't know. The fact we even have to fucking think about this shit is fucking infuriating. Like, it's so unproductive too. It's fucking totally.
Well, and where the challenge is becoming obvious is that the Republican Party is breaking away from Trump, and that's what is going to make it even more challenging. Come November, we witnessed it several times. Whether it was the Senate turning down the stimulus bill for infrastructure, and now them caving, to these demands. We have the minds like the Mike Cernovich, coming out now saying, and just, he put out this crazy video. Did you guys watch this yet?
Play it.
Just
Cerno has, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's got a level head. Go ahead.
Just wear the mask.
I wear a mask, not because I'm afraid of coronavirus, but because I think you should be polite. People are freaking out. It's not a big deal. Just wear the fucking mask. I wear a mask.
Dickweed.
Oh my God, Cerno, you just a moron now.
You see, what I'm getting at is all these people are caving. That's what I'm getting at.
He fluctuates between this, I'm an alpha dog gorilla mindset, and then he goes back to being a cuck. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Maybe it's because he's in California and he really doesn't have a choice. So he's trying to just maybe, and this is me. First of all, he's my age, and he's also from Illinois. So we're the same age. I think I met him once in Newport Beach. He's in Orange County, if I'm not mistaken. But he's a guy my size from Illinois and the same exact age. Like, so I think if I had to guess, I would think he is covering his ass because being in California right now, you have to wear a mask. So he's trying to rationalize it, saying, "Oh yeah, wear a mask, dude. It's a scam, fuckhead. Like come on, don't. If you don't, you wear a mask. Don't tell me to fucking wear a mask. Dude. This whole thing comes down to choice. The mask thing, all of it comes down to choice. If you're fucking terrified, bitch, stay home. If you're not, lead, but don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Don't tell me what to do. So wear a mask, wear a fucking dildo in your ass. I don't give a fuck. Well, this is America. Do whatever the fuck you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. But don't tell me to fucking wear a mask. And he does go back and forth a lot. But he knows one thing. He has acknowledged one thing over the last month or two. It's that there is a there, and CJ just mentioned it. There is a riff. It's not even a riff. I think when the generals started lining up against Trump weeks ago, I think that's when the deep state kind of gave the wink and the nod that we are now in a full frontal assault against this motherfucker. Like they're counting heads. They're like 1, 2. They're trying to figure out who's coming with us and who's riding the Trump train. Dude, it's dark days, man. Even if he wins, it's dark days. You take the worst night.
That's what I said. Unless there's something dramatic that's going to happen, I think it's going to be another 4 years of chaos from the left. There's got to be a definitive, overwhelming victory over the ideology of the left.
My hope.
I don't see that.
My hope is, bro, if he pulls it off and he wins election night, that's when he takes the gloves off. Right now, I think a lot of his moves, and I'm not talking about like Q, like, oh, people are going to get, blah. I'm talking about, all right, send in the fucking National Guard and squash these communists once and for all. Enough. Like right now, I think he's trying to play. It's a re-election year, obviously. He doesn't want to invoke the Insurrection Act. He doesn't want to peaceful protest. He's worried about the optics, just like we were talking about earlier. He's worried about those optics for the election. So if he pulls it off, my hope would be that the night of the election, when the communists get back to it, the night of the election or the day after would be as worse as anything we've seen in the last 6 weeks. 100%. Yeah. So if Trump wins, this country will begin to burn either that night, or that night it might be a little late, but the following day they will start. They take the worst day of rioting and looting in this country the last 6 weeks, and it will be worse than that, 100%. And my hope would be, as an incumbent and just being reelected, that's when he could actually say, "All right, motherfuckers, playtime's over." If that happens, I don't know. If Biden wins, what happened? I think if Biden wins, you'll never. That's when they just. We don't need the. If Biden wins, they'll say we don't need the communist mob anymore. The liberals will say this: we don't need the communist mob anymore because now we control all 3 branches of federal government. Why would we have the mob do it when we could just do it ourselves? Now we'll just vote you motherfuckers into fucking communism. Fuck you. Yeah. So
the only way, and people don't realize, look, here's the thing. The only way this thing completely gets squashed and gets reversed and these morons are completely done with is that everything that's been talked about since 2016 or 17 in October when this whole Q phenomenon started, if everything of that's being perpetrated comes to fruition, okay, which that is, you're talking about an odds of 1 in a billion, and that's what we're looking at in terms of 1 in a billion chance. If that happens, then you have, and that would be the overwhelming, miraculous event that turns this whole thing around. But if that doesn't happen and he just wins,
what is the?
I just think that's part of the problem. Like, that supposedly all these great things are happening behind the scenes and we're not supposed to know about them. And it's all, I think that's part of the problem in itself, because there's been so many people. And if you look at the consolidation in media, you see them shutting down most channels nowadays. What's left? Us. And then you have Dave out there at X22 still saying that, Trump has everybody exactly where he wants them. The Patriots have them right there where they need them. This has all been set up on purpose to expose all of them, and that we have them right where they want them, and this is going to take place. I'm not behind that anymore. I don't. So you have, not only do you have Dave doing X22, but then you also have Sean that's back on it, the Q train as well. And I'm like, these things, regardless, are going to change. And if Trump does get elected, they're going to continue this madness. It's not going to stop. So that's the thing that we have to move to. And if we could get Dave and Sean to join us to question things a little bit more, to tell people to not sit back in your doors, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather Biden win. I'd rather Biden win because.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. That'll wake up
because
wake everybody.
Because I'd rather keep my enemies closer than just assuming that all these things are happening in the background. I guarantee you. Like everyone always says, well, Hillary would have won. We would have been at war and everything. I don't think that we would have. I think that you would have seen a whole uprising of patriots like that you did when Obama tried bringing a war to Syria. I think people would have questioned everything. You would see patriots come out from behind their keyboards and this whole Q thing just completely fall apart, and people would be like, "Oh shit, we've been lied to. We've got to get off our asses and do something now." I mean, I think it's going to take that type of fundamental shake to the foundation.
CJ, I haven't followed any of this Q bullshit since day one. Where do they claim the process is right now? Just that we don't have to go totally.
There's only one thing that I can't wrap my brain around, and it doesn't make sense to me. And this is the weird thing that sticks out like a sore thumb on this whole Q phenomenon, that I can't explain away. I literally can't, and it's like you have to confront it at some level. And that's why I have this amalgamated theory that maybe some of this stuff is true. Maybe there is some components of good guys, which it's very feasible that are fighting back and resisting this. But do they have supreme control? No, nobody has supreme control. Otherwise, none of the bullshit would be, far along as it is right now.
This doesn't feel like supreme control.
No, it doesn't feel like supreme control.
What do you mean, Gus? We got everything secured.
So the only thing that sticks out,
are they going to be
let me just say this real quick. The only thing that sticks out of this whole entire thing is the 186,000 sealed federal indictments. That's never occurred. On a typical year, it's anywhere between 600 to maybe 1,500 at the most per year. We're at 186,000 sealed federal indictments. I can't explain that, Gus. That's why I'm not fully 100% discounting it, but at the same time, I don't think they fully have control. I think this is a multi-level internal warfare that is happening within the system itself. I don't know, Gus. I don't know, but that's the only thing I can't explain away.
Well, maybe when they're walking me into an oven next week, I'll say, "Oh, well, Q said it'd be fine." So I guess as I'm burning, as they're burning me or sticking me in a labor camp, dude, I don't, like I said, I haven't been following the Q shit since day one, so I don't know what the claim is or what they're where are they saying.
The big thing is the Flynn release. And I listened to probably like the first few minutes of it. Actually, the one, and I've never listened to him before, but Wayne Jett was on with Sean, and then Dave kind of broke it down as well. Is that apparently it's instrumental that that Flynn was not prosecuted because Flynn at the time, whenever he was in his position with the administration, he knew all the goods on everyone. He knew about the illicit funds and where they went, and he was going to launch this investigation. So now with Flynn being freed up, to do some of these things. And then we also have, I believe, is his first name Bruce Orr with the FBI. Yeah. Apparently he's with Congress behind closed doors once again. And, what they're saying is that's going to spill all the beans. And so all this stuff is going to, be turnkey, that all this mass arrest and everything that, will occur because we like what they're saying. We have everybody exposed now. We have everybody right where we need them, and so boom, we're gonna Patriot movement's gonna come in and wipe this out, and it's all gonna take care of.
So let me tell you guys how it would play out if there were mass arrests next week. The mainstream media would say Trump's gone full Hitler, and he's arresting political opponents and blah. So even if all that is true, we're still in like Civil War territory. It would be nonstop MSNBC, CNN. It would be nonstop IT and media, Facebook, Twitter. It would be nonstop propaganda.
Unless, of course, they throw the kill switch on the media, like the president has the power to do that.
We already know how they would spin it. They would spin it to Trump, even if the prosecutions are real. Lots of people are going to jail. High level people. The deep state's in trouble. Let's say it's all real. We know the response of the left and the media. Trump is Hitler. Look, he's jailing his political opponents. Look, he's coming for all. There'd be a civil war anyway. Like the fact that these people are like, oh yeah, Trump will save the day. Flynn will save the day. It's like, how are they going to say? Even if they start throwing people, even if they throw fucking Hillary in jail, what do you think would happen? What do you think the response from the left would be? It would be more rioting, looting, fire, guns in the streets. There's no easy way out of this. Okay, I don't give a fuck if Superman landed on planet Earth tomorrow. There's communists in the fucking streets. Like, it doesn't. Wishful thinking is nice. Maybe there is people going to jail. What do you think the response of the communists, the media, IT? What do you think the response of Bezos is going to be and Jack over at Twitter if Trump starts jailing these people? They're going to spin it. He's Hitler. He's Hitler. He's Hitler. Like, this is pretty. It's what they do for everything, dude. It's
Look,
what
man, here's the deal, right? If the Communist Chinese Party couldn't crack down on Hong Kong and Hong Kongers were able to communicate via social network and other media platforms, what's the chance of these guys doing the same? The liberals will still get their message out. You can't stop that message, like you said, bro. Even if they were to throw the switch on all the news outlets and they all go dark with the emergency services broadcasting station, whatever the hell it is, right? There's still ways for these far leftists to get their word out, and that's the problem.
Bro, there's a chance on the other side of this thing in 6 months we're the outlaws. So forget about the Q stuff for a minute. If there's a sweep across every branch of government, if the communists, the liberals steamroll everything, and they amp up this shit, Second Amendment, free shit, it goes to level 10. And what have I seen in the last 3-4 months that has convinced me it won't go to level 10? Nothing really. It looks like this is the year they've decided to crash the empire, finish the empire off. If this thing goes to level 10, there is a chance we are the ones who are the outlaws. So right now, since the government's divided, executive branch, Senate, blah, 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 we could label Antifa and BLM as terrorists and blah, blah, blah. There's a chance in 9 months we are going to be labeled a terrorist. Just because I refuse to go off to a labor camp or whatever.
Or a re-education camp.
Yeah, there's a great quote. It's when evil rules, good men must become outlaws. So I have if Biden wins and they win this and they're like, guess what? We have a 95% wealth tax now. We're taking away all your guns. We're doing this. Guess what? I'm an outlaw now. Like, because I'm not playing by that shit. So they could pass any fucking law they want down the road. The communists can, to stick us here, steal that, do this. Everyone's got their own line in the sand, and I can't tell them what their line in the sand should be. But I too have lines in the sand, and I don't give a fuck what AOC and Ilhan Omar, what fucking bullshit they end up passing if the communists sweep. There might come a point where I become an outlaw. Because I won't play, and I'll be an outlaw as long as I can, and then I'll head for the border if I have to, like Billy the fucking Kid. Like, I'm not.
It's that old quote, man. Peace is a dream only achieved when good men are willing to commit great violence upon evil men.
I won't if they can't. I will not conform to a totalitarian dictatorship, a communist totality. I will not do it. I will either leave or I will fight, but. And that's what we were talking about. I've been talking about for weeks. Your options are fight or leave. It's not hiding out. I don't think it's going to save anyone. And by fight, I mean, that's what I mean when I say, oh, I'll be an outlaw. Like that's fighting. Like I'm not going to, they could pass any law they want. If they control everything, they could say, we're taking firstborns. We're taxing you at 98%. You volunteer we're chipping all you motherfuckers now. Like, I'm not complying to any of that bullshit. Like, dude, fucking suck a dick, eat a dick. Good luck. And yeah, I'll fight you. And you could label me anything you want on CNN. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not your slave. I don't, I'm a free.
Greek neo-Nazi Gus Demas has been apprehended. He was holed up in a warehouse with bottles of Jack, multiple assault rifles, fully automatic. With thousands of rounds of ammunition.
Dude, yeah, listen, man, I don't give a fuck what CNN thinks. I don't give a fuck what this mayor or this prosecutor thinks. This is what we've seen this story play out numerous times the last 140 years, 120 years, and we're living in one now. And maybe it turns out okay, maybe it doesn't. But if it doesn't, yeah, there's 0.0 chance I'm going to be their bitch. So it just won't. I'm not meant to be a fucking. Yeah, I'm not interested in being a slave for 99% of the time. So they let me out to a golf course 0.1% of it. Like, eat a dick, bitch. I don't work. You were bartending last week, cunt. You think you're gonna come in and fucking make me a slave? You fucking dyke. Like, right. So these people are fucking nuts. Yeah. And let's see how it plays. I'm not waiting for anyone to fucking save us. I hope these people are right, but like I said, even if this Q shit is correct, they start prosecuting.
At this point, it's the only hope we have.
Who the fuck? Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
Oh, CJ, how does that make you feel, bro? It's the only hope we have.
Well, I mean,
time to dust off Plan B.
I think we just have to, admit that, like, the old America that we once knew may not exist in the future.
They call it the new normal.
There's a great article on the UNS that kind of breaks this down and walks through scenarios. If one is Trump is reelected, to if not, what's taking place. But you can take a look at all the different demographics across the United States, right? Yeah. And you see that the country is fundamentally changing, and this is the direction to go. So do we really? I really think it's very strategic that all, and I said this yesterday, V, that all Independence Day celebrations are being shut down this year. There's a specific reason that they're doing that, is because they're using that as a pivot, as a launch to this new type of America that they envision, that they're creating.
Go ahead. CJ, they said fucking Mount Rushmore was like racist yesterday. Like this is the new norm.
Yeah. So I think that at some point there needs to be an adult conversation about, is it fundamentally time to look at dividing the United States up?
I think
I'd be for that. Let them have California.
That's my dream scenario. My like I said, if I had to rate in order how I think or what I would wish for, civil war is the last thing. You don't want that. I mean, who wants blood in the streets? Fucking civilians. That's a nightmare scenario. My two best scenarios are: listen, this is unfixable. Let's just do 2 countries, maybe 3 or 4. Like, fuck off. Keep your fucking welfare queens. Keep your communists. Go off to your little city. Go off to your urban centers and go fuck your mothers. Okay, go steal from somewhere else. So that's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is, this isn't working out, guys. Fuck off. Like, you go do your shit. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. All the best. Okay, that's the best case. Splitting the country up is the best case scenario. The number 2 would probably be a middle class libertarian conservative tax revolt, where we just stop paying. Like, fuck
we need
you.
To. It just needs to stop.
It's
their
peaceful.
job is to protect and maintain order. They can't even do that.
It's illegal, but it's federally illegal, and it's not as menacing as blood in the streets. It's, guess what? You guys are fucking. This is pure on communism. We're not playing. And 100 million people, 50 million people just say, we're not paying tax anymore. Fuck you. That would be option number 2. And option number 3 is, yes, the bloody one, which you don't want to go down that road. It's violence is not good for business. People are, but the best case scenario, where I hear Stefan and Shapiro like, oh, yeah, logic, reason, change minds, win back the youth. Dude, you guys are still dreaming. Like I said, the best case scenario is, let's split this shit up. Split it up. You guys go fuck your mothers. Good luck. Take care. I'll go this way. You go that way. It's peaceful as fuck. Like, I don't want to be around these people. I don't want them anywhere near me. They shouldn't even have the ability to vote my freedom away. Like, right. The fact that these fucking cucks and these commies are voting to have the ability to vote my freedom away and steal my money. And like, that's infuriating to me. Like, it's like, dude, let's just go our separate ways. Go play with your commie mayors and AOC, and you guys could drink fucking mojitos or whatever you guys fuckers drink. Just leave me the fuck alone. And I think 2 countries really is the best solution. These people are losers. They're parasites. They're violent. They're dumb. They're criminals. That's their party. Their entire party is losers, criminals, failures, retarded people. Like it's a party of fucking sorry motherfuckers. And I'd be okay. I'm okay with sorry motherfuckers if they didn't want to steal my shit and make me a slave. That's the problem. The problem is they won't leave me alone. So let's just go. You go your way, we'll go our way, and go fuck yourselves. Like that's a dream scenario for me. Oh God, never having to deal with an SJW again. Just being able to have a beer and tell a tit joke at a bar. Well, that's the thing. They've made me low maintenance. I just want to hit a boob joke at a bar. Like, is that dude? Yeah, and for that, I'm fucking Hitler. Like, that's the level of madness we're dealing with. So yeah.
Well, it clearly defined the lines. It clearly defined the lines of people where live and their expectations of what their community looks like, and because there's no reasoning anymore. You know, you try to reason with them, and then they wanna try to shame that, oh, you don't care about my health, and you know, you're not wearing a mask. You know, all these things. I mean, we have some really like hardcore fundamental differences that are not getting resolved, and I think that's why everyone just keeps saying that there's no middle of the road anymore. There's no negotiation. Let's just admit that's what it is, and let's figure this thing out.
CJ, we are trying to reason. They are trying to dominate. They are trying to starve you out, shame your children, brainwash you. Again, I always revert back to there are really only two kinds of people: those who want to be left alone and those who won't leave you alone. And right. those people will not leave you alone. So you go up there to if you're depending where you're at in the country or whatever, you go up to the city council meeting, you voice your opinion, trying to reason with them, CJ. The next day, they're going to bomb your company with phone calls trying to get you fired. They're going to research your kids' social media posting. They're going to try to get your kids kicked out of school or shame. Dude, these people are evil. They're devils. Like they want they want to squash any opposing opinion. They're fucking evil, dude. Yep. They're fucking nuts. And and the last 2 weeks also says they don't just go after you, they go after your family too. So I just, God, if I had one wish, it would be, I wish I could never see a social justice warrior again in my life. And to me, two countries will be, if it goes two countries, conservative and liberal, will be just fine. The low income tax country, freedom of speech, guns, that's a utopia. Like, you know, I'll miss LA and Chicago, but you know, whatever. I'll visit. I'll just need a passport.
V, you still there?
Yeah, I was on mute.
That's okay.
Exactly. Great, Gus. Great points. And basically, that's what it comes down to. If you look at it just like mathematically speaking, unless we have this huge miraculous event, and in one foul swoop, all this stuff gets corrected. And shit, man, I don't see the left giving up their platform.
No,
you have to destroy that platform in order to win. I think a two country solution is the only way to go. It's the only thing that makes sense.
I love the solution, dude. I love it because they are saying, oh, liberals, if we could just break them or change their mind. Dude, they own the universities. They own the big cities. They own IT. They own media. You change their mind. In their mind, they're winning. They're like, we have the infrastructure to everything. The only thing they don't have is guns and capital. Like we have a large chunk of the middle class. We have a bunch of guns. We have benefits too, and that's what terrifies them. They're trying to figure out how to break us, and we're trying to figure out how to break them. And them breaking us is, God, we got to disarm these motherfuckers. We got to steal their money. We got to disarm them. Like that I can tell you what's going on in the liberals' mind. It's how do we crush these people? And it's taking their guns and taking their money. And what's going on in our mind is how do we crush liberals? And it's like, the problem is 90% of universities, 90% of media, IT, go down. They're so entrenched in these places. You're never going to how can you get rid of them? Again, that's why I'm like, let's just go our separate ways. Keep it. It'll suck paying extra shipping on Amazon because I'll be international, but who gives a fuck? Like, just go get the fuck out. We'll save that money in taxes. Take care. And our capital could be somewhere in the South. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you can keep DC too. That's a shithole. Like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I want to be left alone. Like, and they won't leave you alone, man. They're fucking parasites.
Yep.
So,
Exactly right, man.
anyway, boys,
It's a wrap.
Good talk.
Hell yeah, you're on fire today, sir.
As were you guys. Stay safe out there, boys. And I will. CJ, let me know when you get details on all your Vegas shit.
Absolutely.
Brother. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, be safe.
Well.
That being said, folks, we are over and out. Enjoy your weeks and weekends. Take it away, CJ.